You see that we are understanding to become the highest level of a seeker, and in order to become a seeker we must be very clear about real and unreal. That is the topic we have been covering. So understand where there is a false, there is a real also. Like we say, you cannot have a wave without water. You cannot have a gold ring without gold. We cannot have a blueness without the sky. We cannot have a real self, we cannot recognize real self without the body, but we take the body as real. I am tall, I am smart, I did not have a haircut today. You see, all pertains to the body. All pertains to the body. We are going deeper. You all are seekers now. So body is unreal, there lies the real self. So then there is a confusion. So where lies the confusion? Confusion in the mind. And so how to remove that confusion? By viveka, by discernment. You cannot physically separate the blueness of a sky from the sky, the wave from the water, the body from the real self. So that is why our master says that we have to apply viveka. I think you might have gone through it. What we say? Viveka, discernment, separating the mixture. So that mixture causes a lot of confusion in our day-to-day life. We mistake body as me and mine and real. So then we should understand how we define real, how we define unreal, and then we live into that higher awareness all the time to separate real from the unreal. And it's not our problem, it's a universal problem. But now, what is the fun? Why should I separate it? We should answer that question. Why should I separate? Because as long as I claim that I am the unreal as real, confusion will remain with me, it limits me, it will cause insecurity, it will cause anxiety, it will cause duality, it will cause tension and depression, and a long list of problems will always be there. Now see, this confusion is not in animals. Have you seen a lion that says, I did not have a haircut today? We are self-conscious. We are extremely self-conscious. No, I did not comb my hair to attend the session, so now I am okay. We look into the mirror and then we say, now it is okay. Do you see what is the point here? That is how our masters have realized. Every human being is self-conscious being. Even animals have a low level of self-consciousness. But we have a self-judgment. See that? We have a self-judgment. We are a self-conscious being. The sheep is not aware of their hairs. You remove them, they are okay. They never say, I'm naked. You see, we have a self-conscious, we have a self-judgment. From that self-judgment, we want to know who we are. Now it is clear what is the role of viveka. So because of the self-judgment, now I want to know what is the real self. So I have been saying viveka, viveka, viveka. Yes, it is a Sanskrit term which means simply to separate. So I can use a different word. Viveka means cognitive ability and capacity in the intellect to separate what is real and what is unreal. Can I define real? Real has independent existence. Real self does not depend on anything. Real self does not change. Real self is all pervading. Real self is self-luminous, means it becomes aware of itself. That is why we use the word self-awareness. Can I use the word self-awareness for a smartphone? Answer is no. Self-awareness is always available with us. That is why we say mindfulness and meditation is effortless and natural. You live into that state, but you don't recognize it. That is the problem. What you recognize? You recognize what is unreal as real. Viveka also, you can use the word discernment, you can use the word perception, you can use the word awareness, you can use the word learning, you can use the word insight, a lot of words. But we have to understand based on how our masters have defined Viveka. So real self is independent existence. Now ask yourself why body is unreal. It does not have an independent existence. Whether you talk from the Eastern wisdom, it is composed of 5 elements, or whether you talk from the science, made up of organic chemicals coming from carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen, whether you say it is a protein or a fat or minerals or etc. etc. Now see, this body depends on these factors, hence it is unreal. That is how we understand, because I have to explore and find out what is my real self. Are you clear? Now we are going little deeper and deeper. The actual tradition now starts from today. We have been working here and there. Do you see? I have to remove that confusion between. Why there is a confusion? Because the real and the unreal are mixed up, and when they are mixed up, it limits me. It gives me a sense of insecurity. I am the body. What comes with the body? Birth and death, growth, health, sickness. And they all have a dependent existence. Anything that depends on anything, it does not have an independent existence, then it is unreal. So we constantly separate in my mind, in the field of awareness. I am constantly aware that real self is real, and when I claim that the body is me, is not actually me. The wave is not, water is, gold ring is not, gold is, blueness is not, sky is, body is not, real self is. So when we live into that awareness, here comes the self-judgment. We have separated. So when we have separated, where? In the mind, in the knowledge, then what happens? That sense of insecurity drops, that sense of fear drops, that sense of repetition for seeking the pleasure drops from your mind. That is one of the best way to drop the habit, impulsive and instinctive behavior and attitude. That gives you a sense of at ease and calm. Ease and calm. Do you remember we discussed about self-inquiry? Self-inquiry with discernment. One is a normal inquiry. I have to find out how electricity works. Create a protocol, do an experiment and find it out. But when we talk of the self-inquiry, we have to do the self-inquiry with discernment. Without discernment, we cannot remove the confusion. And if we do not remove that confusion, you practice meditation for 10, 20, 40, 50 years, nothing is going to happen. That is 100% clear. So through the discernment, what happens? Body, breath, mind, intellect, ego, thoughts, fear, they are not self. What is left ultimately is the real self. Real self. When we have a confusion, it leads to delusion. So that delusion we say maya, impurity of the mind, lack of focus, and that invites the mind to be instinctive, impulsive, habitual. When the moment you separate, the mind leaves us, that is instinctive, that lives with a low level of self-awareness. Lower self-awareness, animals. Higher self-awareness, humans. Highest self-awareness, realization. Now see, anything that we, any object, any person, anything in the world outside, they are constantly changing. Changing means they have a dependent existence. They depend on something. That is why I told you that I may have a billions of dollars, but am I 100% secure? Am I 100% fearless? Now you see, understand, apply that real and the unreal in our daily life. So does that mean that I stop earning? No. I should earn money, but I should not give added value to the things outside where it is not present. Almost every week I have quite an interesting events with my with all our seekers. From my point of view, all are seekers. So think of it, if I give a stamp of security to a dollar bill, which is not there, it is a confusion. There comes the viveka. Viveka separates. Let me use the dollar where it has a value. I should work in good relationship where it is a value. But if I think that the relationship will give me a complete security, fearlessness, total happiness, I'm confused. Confusion leads to delusion. Delusion leads to anxiety and host of lot of problems. So think of it. Think of it. You have to constantly think of it. Think of it. The moment you do not think of it, then you have a problem. That is why we are studying and understanding Viveka is one of the most important principles in Eastern wisdom. I'm doing meditation for what? Relaxation. I get 5 minutes, 10 minutes of relaxation. And after a few hours, that relaxation is gone. Why it is gone? Because the confusion is still lying. If the confusion is not there, then this meditative state will remain present 24/7. So my master used to ask indirectly in a question, so I converted that into a question. I think you already know how long it takes you to reach to a particular place from your home, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 50 minutes, etc. And how long it takes you to reach to yourself. There is no distance between the real self and you. Why? Because you are real self. You are self-existent, you are self-evident, you are self-luminous, which is unchanging. So when there is no distance between me and the real self, I am the real self. Why don't I know? Because of the confusion. What we need to do, Viveka. See that. I have to separate what I am not. Then what will be left? Real self, pure consciousness. So that is what is realized in meditation. That is what is realized in meditation. Now, based on this, during the last couple of weeks, we have been learning how to become a seeker. We all are seekers, but still we are learning. So here the master clearly says, Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tadavati Riktam Sarvam Anityam. Now what? Simple. So don't take it as a big statement, but you have to use that for realization. He says the real self alone is real, the rest are unreal. And when we apply the Viveka, we find the truth behind it. The pure consciousness that real self alone is true, everything else is false. False means, pay attention, false means that appears true but is not true. Appears true. Every time you see the sky, the blueness is always there. It appears true, but it is not true, because that blueness depends on the real sky. Real self is true. What appears, the 6 feet beard, physical structure, is unreal. It appears true, but it is not. Don't take your mind to a negative questioning. It means, should I die? Should I leave the body? Why you should leave the body? What is the goal? The goal is to find the real self. So why body is unreal? Body appears conscious. I'm moving my hand, I'm speaking, I'm addressing to you. The body borrowed the consciousness from the real self. It does not have an independent existence. So we should give body the value, neither more nor less. If I am the body, I am subjected to birth and death, I am subjected to health and sickness, and then I feel I am limited, I have a dependent existence, and that causes the problem in our day-to-day life. So I give the body the value it is present. I should not give more value. That is the power of discernment in our day-to-day life. Sugar asks, I want to be sweet all the time. You are already sweet all the time, Sugar. Why you want that? Think of this. Okay, so if you ask the sugar where you want to be sweet, all places, in everything, at home, at office, on the highway, while driving. Under what condition? In all the condition. Sugar remains sweet in all conditions. That is the nature of the real self. That real self is always pure consciousness, permanent peace, happiness, love and wisdom. Where? Everywhere. All places, in all conditions. When we realize that in day-to-day life, 24/7, we have achieved the highest state of meditation, and that process, that state is known as awakening. My Guruji used to put another logic. If happiness is not my nature, then how I can live in permanent happiness at all time, in all places, with everyone? So it proves that real self is full of permanent peace, love, truth and wisdom. And I have to discover that, I have to remove that confusion. The very nature of the real self is this. So what Viveka does in my life? The moment I am surrounded by anxiety, negativity, duality, conflict and ego, I should remind in my mind, this is not my nature. My nature is the real self. Sugar, ask when you want to be sweet all the time, in all the conditions. That very awareness will help you to separate what is real and what is unreal. How do you say that real self is of the nature of permanent peace and happiness? I have just, last session I think I talked about it. Do you love peace? Answer is yes, peace is your nature. Do you love stress? No, it is not your nature. Do you love happiness? Yes, I love happiness because happiness is my nature. That's why I love it. Do you see that? See another reason. In deep sleep, after the deep sleep, when you wake up, you experience peace and happiness, that I had a sound sleep. How? Mind is not there. The mind has a lot of confusion. The moment we wake up, it returns to its old habit, it returns to its confusion, it returns to its delusion. So can we live into the state of deep sleep of the world outside and still I am conscious? That is what the meditation is. I am conscious. I am aware. Body is not there, mind is not there. It does not mean it is not there. It means I have that clinging to the body. I have that confusion that I am the body. I have that confusion that I am the mind. They both are not there. Hence I realize my true nature. Another point and then we will start on that. That is how we study in a traditional discipline. So the Guruji picks up a text and then they say what is written. Then we have a question and answer for contemplation. So contemplation gives you the clarity. When you start thinking on your own, reflection removes the doubt. So when you have no doubt, there is a total clarity. That intellect motivates you. It is a self-motivation. It is a self-inspiration. Let me find out my real nature. That is the goal of life. Goal of life is common to every human being. Goals in life are different. You may get, you have a project to earn billions of dollars, everything is okay. You don't change anything outside. Your perception has changed. You are earning, but you are not giving a value to the wealth. What value? Oh, I will be secure if I get this. You see, though the insurance provider sells you the programs and certificate, you will be totally free. Everything is okay. So now another point that you see, that real self cannot be produced but discovered. That is why we say meditation is a journey of the self-discovery. I cannot produce anything by action. If I can produce the happiness, then it will depend on action. And if it depends on action, the action depends on many factors. So it is not independent. So that is why we say meditation is effortless, natural, beyond mind. You cannot produce the permanent happiness like we produce crops, like we produce anything in the world. So we use the word discovery. It is already there in me. It is already present behind the mind. It is already present within the body. I need to discover. And that discovery has to follow the self-inquiry. The self-inquiry has to follow with discernment. Think of this. So we are going deeper every time, and once you pick up, it is good to remember the previous sessions. Remember the 4 connections, remember the 9 primary practices, and then we come to the secondary practices. So pay attention to these 9 primary steps or the practices. So first practice is Viveka. I'll make it clear in the next session also. So let us start our practice of meditation now. With that, Viveka, my friends and seekers. Eyes are closed. So we have been doing it. We follow now a traditional discipline. Eyes are closed, the body is steady, and mental namaste. You visualize, mind, any thought in the mind means mind imagines. When I say where is United Kingdom, the mind imagined UK. The mind did not go there. Think of this, understand this little bit. Once we are a seeker, we go little deeper. Similarly, what I am saying, let mind imagine that you are folding the hands in Namaste Mudra, the thumb is touching the sternal notch. All the 5 fingers are symbolic of sense organs, the other 5 fingers symbolic of motor organs, and in between, in Namaste Mudra, at the center of the palm, there is a space. In that space lies the real self. The real self is self-existent. I think you are clear now. It is independent, my friends. Independent existence. It is self-luminous. It is self-evident. It is the nature of permanent happiness, truth, love, wisdom. So why I keep looking into the space between the Namaste Mudra? First thing, I keep aside my ego. What is ego? Ego is built upon the body and the mind and my perception. and I know the body is unreal. Do you see? Every dots joins together. Every join. And then we had been doing Ya Devi. So we have many goddesses. You want to refer your life to the piece Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita. O goddess. Now we name the goddess as if it is a being. It is a part of the real self. You are seated as permanent peace in my heart. That is why I am doing Namaste, Namaste, Namaste to you. Now you get the sense of Namaste. So every time you do Namaste, you should have that awareness, and that awareness will take you deeper. And after that, we are comfortable. And again, we follow that Namaste. Look at the neck joint. Object. Any object of the world is not real self. But we follow that. Neck joint, experience, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Then we move into the space. And again we move into the Namaste Mudra. Another meaning here we use, not me. So when you say not me, you are already separating yourself. And everything is happening in the field of awareness. You are not doing anything. But we will be doing in this journey until we are settled. Look at the shoulder joints. Now I need not to explain much. Shoulder joints, sensation, comfort, steadiness, space, Namaste, not me. I've already done the separation. Viveka, to separate real from unreal. Whatever is changing, whatever is my experience, today I experience this, tomorrow not, so it is changing. So I maintain awareness that it is not me. Hip joint, being there, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Check that the now mind moves flawlessly. Deeper. Namaste space. Namaste. Not me. I have already separated. I live into that state after separation. Entire body, from the top to the toes, all the joints of the body. Feeling the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Space. Namaste. You might be thinking that you are doing this step to feel at ease, but in fact that ease is coming from the Namaste, in fact. You enter into the state of humility, and Namaste also means not me. What is not me? Body, breath, mind, intellect, thought, even including sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You are going away far. How? In your mind, through the awareness. And same thing applies to these thoughts and feeling and the sensation that they enter into the mind. And I told you they are acting like a salesman. Why the mind is confused? Why the mind is confused? Because it does not know what is real and unreal. So it knocks the door of the mind and we are simply aware. We don't need you. That is what is being carefree. Carefree. Any thought, any feeling, you are aware. Good, bad, high, low. And being casual. Being casual is natural. What is natural? It points to the real self in your mind. How it points through awareness. It is only the awareness you know that you are separate from me. I am separate from you. In the same field of awareness, you know I am not the body and the breath and the mind and the thoughts and the feeling and the sensation and the experiences. So secondary level of confusion lies of which we are little aware. Because we are not fully aware, we have not released those impressions. That's why we say, I have understood you intellectually, but I don't have an experience. So the confusion lies in the deeper layers of the mind, the past impressions. We have to release it. And that is why we move into the third stage, looking inside the rib cage in the heart. And then we have to do short, quick, and gentle breathing without stopping. Start breathing, quick, short, and gentle breathing through both the nostrils. We are using a very smaller step. We will be using a little deeper step later. And start. Body remains steady. You maintain your awareness. You're looking into the space inside the rib cage and continue breathing. No stopping in the between. Continue doing it, and if the mind is enjoying, it means the mind is living within. And if the mind is living within, then only this practice helps you to go deeper. Continue. and stop it. We did it 6 minutes today, and we will see how it works. Look at the tip of the nose. See, there is an equal flow of the breath from both the nostrils. A sense of calmness and quietness is there. The mind is not anxious and worried about as if we have done for long, we cannot do it, or we should do it. Those thoughts are not there. You feel a sense of calmness and quietness. Look at the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, from outside, and experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. Look inside, from the top to the toes. Slowly, gently find the space. Namaste means not me, and you live into that awareness. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sansthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Nama. So it's a contemplation and reflection with the breath to dig the mind deeper. So we will start 10 seconds of inhalation, 15 seconds of retention. In that, you may think in English that, oh Goddess, you are seated in me as a permanent peace, and that is why I am doing Namaste, Namaste, Namaste to you. So Namaste means not me. What is left? Permanent peace. So we just maintain an awareness. That is all during the entire practice. Or we explore. So let us start. Inhale, deep, silent, slow. Remember, into the belly and the rib cage. Retain the breath. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sansthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Nama. I gave you the meaning. You are seated. And release the breath. But check. Your awareness remains deep inside the heart. It does not return outside. And what is preventing the mind to return outside is the practice of this breathing. Deeper. Inhale deeply into the belly, slow, silent. Then the rib cage. Retain the breath. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sansthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Nama. And you are just absorbed into the space. Release the breath. I believe you remember we talked about peace. Shanti is a good space. So allow the mind to get absorbed into the good space deep inside the heart. And that is all. So even that Namaste becomes complete. Inhale, deep, silent, slow. Retain the breath. Allow the mind to go within. Permanent peace is deep inside my heart. That is why Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. Release the breath. We can use any mantra. What a beauty. I could see everybody is stand still. And inhale, deep, silent, slow. Retain the breath inside. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita. Namastasyai, 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 Namo Namah. Release the breath. And the viveka is still happening. Why you want to go within? To separate, to know. So the viveka is not there at the time of meditation. You may be doing it for 50 years, no result. Goal is to awaken. Inhale, deep, silent and slow. Continue to inhale, deep, silent and slow. Retain the breath. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita. You are seated as a permanent peace within me. Namaste, Namaste, Namaste to you. Release the breath. So when you release the breath, just notice, does the breath return to perfectly in a normal way? Or you have to breathe out with the force, or it comes out with the force. That is a pointer to the past impressions working. We need to clear it out. Inhale, deep, silent and slow. Continue to inhale. Retain the breath and Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita. Namastasyai, 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 Namo Namah. You know it. Release the breath. And we'll continue with another round. Inhale, deep, silent and slow. Continue to inhale for 10 seconds. Continue and retain the breath deep inside the mind. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita. You are seated within me as a permanent peace, and release the breath. You know, it is better in the beginning to point to a symbolic God as a permanent peace. That is the key point here. Why? Because the mind still living into that incompleteness and a confusion may return again to the unreal. Inhale deep, silent, slow. Retain the breath. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Vishnuma Shanti Rupena Sanstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namah. Release the breath. So when the mind becomes totally pure, then what happens? We are addressing as if there is some goddess sitting as a permanent peace. We become that. Or mind merges there. That is the way we should understand this. Inhale, deep, silent and slow. Retain the breath. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. Release the breath. Pick up Shantoham deep inside the heart in the space. And I think it was very well received that look into the space, find a point in the space, drop the mantra Shantoham. Shantoham means I am the peace. So then continue to help the mind to go within, find another. Go deeper within, find a space, good space. Pick up a point in the space, drop Shantoham, and continue the journey. So every time you are conscious, this step is done to maintain a higher level of awareness. Nothing more than that. So the mind moves deeper inside this heart in this space. So first thing you recognize that there is a space. Then you pick a point in the space and then you drop Shantoham. Step by step. So you see that? That is the way the mind is educated to move within. And I told you, the time comes, the mind says no more inside. Final point is reached. Why it says? Mind merges into the real self. What it means? Real self is independent. Doesn't change. So where there is a movement, there is a change. The real self, there is no movement there. I believe you got it. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. Your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences, bring the hands down. How are you, Laura?
It was good. It was really quiet. The first couple of breaths retention, I had a little bit of a struggle. Just like holding the breath and was like a little bit anxious getting it out. And then it just kind of evened out.
Good.
And then it was pretty quiet the rest of the time.
Good. Wonderful. How are you, David and Jerry?
Very good. The spot when you said to look at your body from outside, I just had this huge release. And then from that point on, there was a lot of indigo and just getting deeper and deeper. It was really wonderful.
Wonderful. Yes. Yes, it's a deeper. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. The good space is just, I feel like I'm knowing that good space pretty well. I'm feeling like I'm there in that good space. And I don't know, that's where I seem to stay in the meditations now.
That's a beautiful way that if you say that you live continuously into that good space, it leads to realization of permanent peace within us. That's wonderful. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. Might have been the fastest meditation to date. It was effortless on my part. Just was within my heart from the beginning. I had some struggles in listening and going through the steps. I actually believe at one point I didn't release my breath until I actually ran out of breath.
Oh.
So I wasn't fully conscious of everything that you were saying, but I was just in this very deep space. Thank you.
Very good. Good. How are you, Christina?
That was wonderful. Thank you for that. What I took from this was our beginning breath, chest breathing. That flew by. I thought we just started, and then you said all of a sudden we were doing it for 6 minutes.
Good.
And I was completely absorbed. Then all of a sudden we were finished. So very calm and wonderful.
Yeah, from 6 minutes we can go to 60 minutes. Now you feel good. Last time you said yes, it was some issue, but now that is how the mind responds. How are you, Kate?
I'm really good. An awareness happened when you said, I think we were dropping the shanti, the peace, and going deeper, but then you said something that prompted that we're already there, and then there was an awareness that there's no searching, I'm there. You don't have to go deeper, it's here.
That's
Now.
wonderful.
Yeah, and so that was...
That's really good.
basking in that, being in that.
Yeah,
There's no searching.
There is no searching. Yes. I'll talk about seeking and searching, 2 different points. Yes. How Sam has gone, I was thinking. So how are you, Internet?
I'm good. That was very peaceful. At one point, I was going very deep, and then all of a sudden, it just I don't know how to describe if it stopped, but I still felt very peaceful. I was kind of confused. I don't know how to describe it.
Now you are doing the practice, and then everything is left. You are totally in a different point, and you are aware.
Right.
So that's not confusion. That is how the mind is transcended.
Okay.
That is how. So, and because if you are doing something and you are lost in your thoughts, so it means the mind is outside. And as Sam is trying to connect and reconnect, how are you, Ashok?
Sir, it was nice, and my mind went inside. There is some peace also. That's good, progressive.
Good, there is some peace. Yes, good. Good, you are changing. How are you, Sam?
I'm really good. It's interesting because I think I was going to describe my experience with the quick, short, fast breath as completely effortless, but I think my mind knew that we were going a little bit longer, so I struggled between 5 and 6 minutes, but that was okay, absolutely. The mantras was pretty effortless. I think that I'm finally, feeling when we do the not a state in our mind. I'm feeling that power come out of my heart during a lot of it's a really, really nice place to be.
Good, and I think everyone is doing great. Remember, the word viveka, discernment or cognitive ability to separate real self from the what is not real. It does not mean that we do not use what is unreal. Goal is find the real self. Who am I? It is a state of pure consciousness. And the moment you give more value to anything outside, you are bound to suffer. But then don't confuse yourself. I am giving more value to my... Should I not give more value to my honey? No. Honey is honey. But if I am seeking a security in the honey where it is not, because my honey is suffering from insecurity. Why? Because I claim that I am the body. So that sense of awareness should prevail all the time. And then you will come to know what it means by living in the state of meditation 24/7. That is all. You have any question? No question. That is all for today. Thank you.
Namaste.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you, Girish.
Thank you. ठीक है बंधु.
हाँ सर ठीक हूँ. आज ऑफ था.
अच्छा आज ऑफ था.
हाँ जी. तो ये मंथ